So?
So, you must have sung Mimi dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah.
How do you make it sound so fresh?
That's my secret.
You're not going to give it away. No, but seriously, I imagine sometimes you must get tired with singing a role if you have to sing it very many times.
Yes, it can happen. If you sing often, all the time, you can be tired, that's true. For instance, once, Arabella, I probably sang 80 times already. But then my husband came and he said, you know, now it sounds like routine. You have to be careful. And then I need a cigarette. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
You smoke, then?
Yes, I smoke.
I thought great singers never smoked. Isn't it very bad for you?
You know, once in Vienna, I went to this famous singer doctor and I asked him, serious, give me the answer. Is it dangerous to smoke? And he said, you know, gnädige Frau, the singing is more dangerous than the smoking.
Good point.
And I smoke longer than I sing.
You seem to have abandoned the little roles of, say, Butterfly and Mimi of Puccini, and now gone for the much bigger roles like Marschallin in Rosenkavalier. Did this happen naturally?
Yes, that's the normal way in a career, that you switch from the little roles to the bigger roles.
And is your voice changing all the time?
I think all the voices, they change from silver tone to a golden tone. And after the child was born, also the voice changed a little bit.
Another dominant...
Warmer.
Warmer?
Yes.
Yes. Another dominant role you played, which caused quite a lot of surprise to your admirers, was Strauss's Salome. This...
Surprised?
Well, she's rather a horrid woman, isn't she?
No, not at all.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Well, how do you see her then?
I see her as a young, very young princess in her time. And in this time, life didn't count a lot. So that's not shocking and not horrible.
But how did you feel yourself in the opera when John's lacerated head is brought in on the charger?
It was, in a way, it was like a shock, really, I must say so. I knew it's paper and painted paper, but this had looked so awful.
You felt almost sick.
It was a shock.
How did you prepare to sing the role of Salome?
I prepared myself, but it wasn't planned so. Professor Hartmann, who was the stage director and who is the director in Munich State Opera, he promised me to come to our home to prepare the part, and he couldn't come, so I was really afraid in the last moment, and then I asked him to send the score, his private score, to see from which side I have to come in and to move to right or left, and all the other I prepared myself. And it was very, very interesting because it was the same acting. What I have to say now, which or who he was expecting?
Acting which he was
expecting.
Which he was expecting. I think you speak extremely well. You speak it very well indeed. How long would it take you, on average, to study and learn a role like Salome?
I could do probably in 3 weeks to learn the part. It depends. If you are not tired, I can learn very fast.
What's the quickest you've ever done?
Quickest? Oh, once in Salzburg Festival, Furtwängler asked me to do the favor for the opening, just for one performance, to sing the Lady in Magic Flute, and I learned in 4.5 hours and sang the same evening the general dress rehearsal.
Now, do you study the dramatic side and the vocal side separately?
First, I read the book, and I try to find out in the mood and the situation, the period, and then I start to learn the music. But music and word, they go together.
Your feeling about the character you're playing is so strong that I wonder if you've had any special dramatic training when you were very young.
Not specially training, but I grew up in a family. My father, who was a doctor, was more artist than I am. And he played and he staged each year 2 or 3 pieces with the
Amateur dramatic?
amateur, yes.
Yes.
So I start my career with 5 years old, and I played all the Shakespeare main parts as Rosalinde and Juliet and all these when I was student.
So this was on the dramatic side. What about the actual vocal side of your
The vocal side, I started to study with 15 years old, and my teacher, I had only one teacher, I was lucky, and it was Margarete Hazer, and I started with 15 years old. It's quite young.
Could I ask you a rather personal question?
Yes.
Did she give you that wonderful ease of production that you have, or is this a
What
gift?
is ease?
Well, your production always sounds so smooth. When you sing, it sounds no effort. I mean this.
That.
Is this training, would you say, or
Yes,
it is?
yes, it is.
It's
true.
a training in a
it's big work.
Yes. Now, your father was a man of considerable means, and you were brought up in beautiful and luxurious surroundings. Let's have a look at your lovely family house. I should really have called it a castle, I think, yes. It's right
Yes,
on the shores
yes.
of Lake Constance.
Lake of Constance, yes.
Have you ever felt having a well-to-do father was perhaps a help or a hindrance to your career?
Either nor, but it's not so easy if you have to work for your income. It gives you more push.
Push, incentive, yes.
You have to discipline yourself.
Yes. Let's cross now just for a second to America. I believe you made your debut with the Marriage of Figaro.
Yes.
And